Next on deck with Tim Black.
I think Harris ran a really good campaign. You know, I've seen a lot of political campaigns and I've seen a lot of candidates. This was actually a very good one. You know, and if there's one person I do not blame for this loss, it is Vice President Harris.
How could you run a good campaign if you lose? And folks, I want to make very clear here. They didn't just lose, it got destroyed. It's okay to be dumb. It's okay to be dumb when it's on your own money. But when you're being dumb and you're using the money of tax-paying citizens, I got a problem with that. So I got a problem when you gaslight, lie, and set people up with phony narratives, and then I got the audacity to show up with your hand out. Why is your hand out? What are you asking for and why? You took all your money from the corporate sponsors, and now you want to come talk to me? You want to talk to me and my people for money for your campaign after you burnt up $1 billion? What is wrong with these people, folks? Well, I can show you better than I can tell you.
To interview her in September, $1 million. Now, if she thought she was saving democracy, she should have done it for free. Kamala scared donors by calling Trump a dictator, got $1 billion, then just gave it to her friends and blew the rest on being a diva. Kamala went on a podcast, remember Call Her Daddy? But she didn't want to go to their studio in LA. So she made the host fly to DC and used campaign cash to build a fake set in a hotel room. She spent more than $100,000 to build it. That set, see it? 2 chairs, a coffee table, and a bookshelf. That's 6 figures. Now, we looked at the set. We probably could have done it for around $6,000. That's without labor. But where'd the rest of the money go? We don't know. So she's still trying to soak folks for cash. 24 hours after the election, on Wednesday, Democrats got a text from the campaign. Urgent. We need help. Donate now. Help with what? You lost. This is how she's going to spend her donors' dollars.
Yes, it is how she's going to spend her donors' dollars, man. And a lot of people are gullible enough to go for it because they actually believe the Democratic Party is fighting for them. They think the Democrats are going to somehow try to make them maintain a democracy that we don't have. Newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, we ain't got no democracy now. We got a bunch of rich bastards controlling everything and a bunch of poor masses carrying the load. We're being sold to the highest bidder, man. You come in with a social security number. That ain't nothing but your barcode, letting you know who owns you. The U.S. government owns you, the empire of the United States. You ain't got no democracy, baby. You ain't got no power. You ain't got no power. And now here they go. These parties, these machines, corporate-backed, running everything, running us into the ground, Johnson. And the worst thing about the Democratic Party is they try to pretend that they are better. They try to pretend that they got your back when they don't. If they do have your back, it's got a knife in their hand. Almost as bad as the last Penguin episode I saw. Jesus Christ. Why do you have to do that to Vic, man? I'm sorry. You got to be there to know what I'm talking about. The point is the Democratic Party is sleaze bags. Case in point, Nancy Pelosi. The Harris campaign raised $1.3 billion, spent $1.37. That's right, they spent more than they raised. They spent $582 million. I'm sorry, it's big numbers. On staff alone, compared to the Trump campaign, which raised $381 million, not nowhere near a third as much. And they spent less than they raised. What was that number? What's that number here, Johnson? And for their staff, they only spent a measly $10 million. Half of the money the reason why people are calling out the Democrats so hard is look at the numbers here. And what do you notice? That the Kamala campaign spent half their money just on staff. Now you know why that staff is crying so loud. So all those people that were working with the Kamala campaign, All those people that fell under the umbrella of working with them, like, I don't know, surrogates maybe, paid surrogates. All the people that you see crying right now, the loudest ones. I don't have proof of all of them, but I got a strong feeling a number of them were on this payroll. This was the gravy train, family, and they ain't want the gravy train to stop. That's a lot of dollars. And it's not stopping, folks. I just got this in the email a couple days ago with some of the Harris campaign. And yes, the donations we're asking you to make to the Harris Fight Fund program today. Folks, the election's over. They're still asking for your money. What's got to happen? You got to be the coyote in the Roadrunner show and get an anvil to fall from the sky? You are set if you're falling for this, folks. This one came today. A new email from the Harris Fund. It says, Tim, is there anything we can say to convince you to make a contribution to support the Harris Fight Fund program today? See, I've been telling people, and I don't know if they've been hearing me, man. The Democrats are actually pretty glad they lost. Yeah, that means you won't be expecting anything of them. They can raise money saying they're going to fight Trump, and they'll make a whole bunch of dollars. It's good being out of power. See, some people got it twisted. You think these people are really upset about you. You think they care about you. This so-called democracy thing, man. Listen, this is an opportunity for them to kick back, relax, and just open up the war chest, stock up the steaks. Put a few more steaks in the freezer. Meanwhile, the media is loving this, guys. The media gets to run against Trump for the next 4 years. They were running against Trump the last 4 years when he wasn't even in office, and they made millions. Family, this is a money maker for the Democratic Party. Why else would they have ran Kamala? You thought they ran Kamala to win? Look. I'm reminded of a scene from Devil in a Blue Dress when Mousy killed a guy that he was supposed to be watching while Easy went into the house to get the woman in the blue dress. Easy comes back to the car and he's like, Mouse, where's dude? And Mouse looks at him and he says, Don Cheadle looks at him and he says, hey man, I ain't had no time to be messing around with him. He said, man, you didn't. He said, I ain't had no time to be tying him up, Easy. Hey, if you didn't want me to kill him, why you leave him with me? And if you know Mousy, like we got to know Mousy in that film, you'll know Mousy kills people. That's what Mousy does. And I look at the campaign of the Harris campaign, the DNC the same way, man. If the DNC wanted to win, they wouldn't have ran Kamala. I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it? If the DNC really wanted to win, if they were really concerned that World War III was coming with Trump, that Trump was going to do all these horrible things, would they have ran a vice president who never won an electoral vote, who dropped out in 2019 before Iowa? No, but they would run him if they wanted to make a whole lot of money, Johnson, and that's the whole point of this segment. They're still fundraising off this thing called Trump. And it ain't gonna stop no time soon. As long as you stuck on stupid, well, I guess you'll buy into it. I'm hoping some people wake up today.
I mean, this really was an historic flawlessly run campaign. She had Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. I mean, she had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swift, she had the Swifties, she had the Beehive. Like, you could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time. And
see what's important to the Democrats? The Democrats are not talking about she had a great message and she had great policies that were amazing. And she did an amazing job, effective job communicating what she was going to do for people. And she made a great case for the Democratic Party. And she really touched the hearts and souls of the voters. No, that's not what the bragging rights are for Joy Reid and the Democrats. Queen Latifah gave an endorsement. Beyonce came out. The Swifties, Taylor Swift endorsed her. Yay! That's all that matters to them, man. Superficial, elitist garbage that has nothing to do with regular people. And luckily for us, it did move the needle.
I think that's still true.
I think Harris ran a really good campaign. I've seen a lot of political campaigns and I've seen a lot of candidates. This was actually a very good one. And if there's one person I do not blame for this loss, it is Vice President Harris.
How could you run a good campaign if you lose? And folks, I want to make very clear here. They didn't just lose, they got destroyed. They got destroyed in ways that they haven't seen happen in 40 years. They not only lost the Electoral College, they lost the popular vote. They not only lost the popular vote, they lost every swing state. They not only lost every swing state, they basically lost the Latino vote, the Asian vote, the youth vote, like everything that matters, they got destroyed in. They even lost the Native American vote. That was just petty, man. That was petty how they went. Damn. I mean, folks, we talking about just totally being destroyed to the point where you're almost unrecognizable. The Democratic Party was so beat up, people couldn't even identify the corpse. That's how bad it was. They had to go down to dental records of DNA on the DNC. When they do the autopsy of this, they're going to have to send it out of state and have forensics. Look at the teeth. I mean, this thing is beyond recognition. They got disintegrated. They got vaporized, eviscerated. They got pummeled. They got beat into a fine powder, is what I'm trying to tell you. And we got these people that are sitting here saying, these professionals saying, they did a good job. I've never seen a better campaign run better than this. The campaign is in debt. It spent more money than it raised, and it outspent its opponent 3-1, and still is in debt. They got shellacked everywhere. They got destroyed everywhere. Almost the entire country went red. Places went red that are solidly Crip. Even the Crips went blood. Everything went red. 75-year-old women had periods. Everything went red, folks. Everything. Nuns were seeing red. Monks were seeing red. Everything's red, folks. The wave. Remember when they were laughing, saying it wasn't no red wave? Man, it was a typhoon, swept through, knocked down everything. Listen, there's a thing called denial, and there's a thing just called just being straight up super stupid. Okay? These people are touched in the brain, insane in the membrane. Cypress Hill. This is almost scary how much denial there is on the Democratic side of the ball. I'm here for it, though, Johnson. I'm here for it.
So in your universe of coulda, woulda, shoulda, is there anything they could have done to win this election that you think they did not?
I honestly am not exactly sure. I think that the electorate gave a mandate of where they were, and I think that they didn't understand why we're sending money to Ukraine or to Israel, but we can't afford eggs and gas. And I think that we missed the mark on the messaging from the beginning, and I don't think we understood how to communicate and how to message to the middle of the country or to everyday people who are just trying to buy groceries for their family. So I think a lot of that is a referendum on a previous administration. And then a lot of it is not being able to explain sort of some of these bigger policy ideas and why that some of these different pieces of democracy are so important.
Yeah, I understand that part, man. And then look, don't get me wrong. I appreciate you understanding it now. I get it. Like, I'm glad you get it now. But you're a day late and a few days short. Or dollar late, a couple bucks short. It doesn't matter now. Doesn't matter now. Who had the guts to say this when it was like really like valuable? Like why the damn thing was going on? Why they ran a campaign that was made for the 90s, frankly. They forgot we had the internet and people could look at stuff and fact check you and listen to the other side, even if you freeze them out on all the cable news media. In fact, most Americans aren't even on cable news anymore like that. So what were they thinking?
Do you know what I think is honestly the best part of the USA elections is that it proves definitely that the mainstream media and celebrities have completely lost their influence in the world, in society. For about 20 years, they've enjoyed fame, riches, and influence, and they had all of that. It is all gone. Like, it is gone.
That's right. That's the upside of this whole thing, Johnson. The Beyoncés don't matter. The Rihannas don't matter. Megan Thee Stallion shaking her ass. Glorilla, really? Alicia Keys. Queen Latifah. Oprah. John Legend coming out to lecture us. Common, Wendell Pierce. I'm going to go around the town to all the barbershops. Talk to all the people in the barbershops with my Shakespearean. I'm going to discuss with the poor Negroes what's important to them. You talk to Latino brothers, Black brothers, Asian brothers. Everybody left you. Everybody got the hell away from y'all. Only people that stayed was the good old puppy dog, black folk, and the good old puppy dog. Black women, mostly black women, stayed right there by the chair. A lot of them did, I'm just saying. They voted more than anybody else. When the black women gonna wake up, man? The Democrats don't mess with you. They mess with you, but they don't mess with you. You understand what I'm saying? The Democratic Party needs to be broken up. It's too big. Even though they got shellacked this time, they still need to be broken up. And some of the people that just didn't want Kamala, they're not Republicans, they just didn't want Kamala. They went the other way. They thought it would be a mandate on Trump and there'd be a bunch of people that just voted against Trump. Well, there were people that voted against the Democrats. And that's how bad things were under the Democrats. The whole thing of demonizing Trump worked against them. Because there's just so far you can chase a guy out of town before people say, hey, maybe the town's funky. Maybe the people that run this thing is funky. Why this guy got damn near 40 indictments, 40 charges? What the hell did he do? You look around and there's no bodies. You got Kamala Harris running around with Liz Cheney, a war monster. The thing under the stairs. Kamala Harris is running around with the monsters from. The monsters from. That's some creepy shit. Hi, you gonna let me in? So at the end of the day, it is a referendum on the Democratic Party like no other. This is undeniable, but they're doing their best to deny it because they are brain dead. I want to tell you not to feel bad at all about it. Do not fret, for this must come. This is just the process working. This is how it goes. It ain't going to be clean, but it must be done. We must dissolve these parties. Republican Party's already been destroyed. Basically, it's a shell of its former self thanks to Trump. Trump is a bull in a china shop. If you don't like him, that's fine. Thank him for destroying, basically, the entire structure of the Republican Party. Now, who's going to destroy the Democratic Party? They're well on their way. Someone's got to put the pillow over the face of the Democratic Party and put it out of its misery. Take it for that long walk. Do it like they did Yeller. Just don't cry after you do it.